I gathered all resin dyes that I had. Not all actually, but it doesn't matter. To make the bubbles come out faster, I prepared a jar of hot water. The most important thing is to place the cups there very carefully, so that not a single drop of water gets inside. While one part is taken in a jacuzzi, I prepared the second one. Some dyes are alcohol-based that leave the resin clear, others give a solid color. I add the first drop of resin to the bottom of the mold and tap with a silicone brush to expel the air bubble. Although at this stage it's not that important. I start adding different colors, alternating with white. To get beautiful swirls, white is necessary. And there are no special rules here, just different colors in different order. And with the help of a silicone brush or a toothpick, I make swirls inside, a bit. The main thing is not to overdo it and not to mix all the colors into one incomprehensible color. Repeat all the same actions with each color. My silicone mold was cut into several pieces, so I needed a stand while curing. This wooden coaster helped me. Specifically, my resin cures within 3 days. I take out the pendants after 2 days, while the resin is still soft. It is imperative for the resin to be soft, but not sticky or stretchy. So far, the swirls are not so clearly visible, but it's just for now. To show all the buttons, you need to slice off a small layer of resin. Since the resin is not completely solidified and is still soft, it is very easy to do it with a utility knife. Do not slice off a very thick layer, but only about 2-3 mm. This is the area of the first cut edge, and this is how small the last edge is. And now the pattern has changed. There's a real magic inside. In fact, the hand gets tired very quickly during this process. Despite the fact that the resin is soft and well cut, it still takes some effort. Now I leave the pendants for another day so that the resin is completely hardened. And after that, using sandpaper, I level the surface so that there are no marks left by the knife. I washed the pendants from the dust with cool water, and now we need to fix pins. I heat the needle to make a hole and insert the pin into it. It doesn't need to be tightened to the very end. It is necessary that there is a distance between the crystal surface and the eye of the pin. Otherwise, resin may get into the eye of the pin, since it will be not only on the sides but also on top. When pouring, it will be clearer for you what I mean. And if it isn't possible to fix the pin, then I add a little of glue. I needed the colored crystals to stay on top and not sink, therefore I passed a paperclip into the pin's eye. I pour some resin to the bottom, and at this stage it is important to expel the air bubble that could remain at the tip of the crystal foam. After a small volume of resin is poured, I place the crystal inside, and it should be positioned like this, as shown in the picture. Therefore, a paperclip is needed that will hold the crystal. I fill in the resin completely and adjust the crystal so that it does not come into contact with the walls of the mold. And here is the air bubble I was talking about. A pin broke in the purple crystal and some of it remained in the resin. I gently bring the crystal to the fire to warm up the resin. It became soft, and with the tool I pulled out that very part. But be careful if you repeat this. Please note that resin fumes can be toxic. I attach a new pin and place the crystal inside the mold. Here in this place, the colored crystal touched the wall of the mold. This shouldn't be so. After 2 days, I remove the paperclip while the resin is soft. After hardening, it can be problematic. Without taking the pendants out of the mold, I fill the remaining space. And after another 3 days, you can admire the result. In some places, the resin still got on the pin and closed the eye, but I removed the excess with the knife. As a decoration, I will use this crown-shaped bead cap. In order not to wait another 3 days, I will fix it with ultraviolet resin. All that remains is to attach a chain or a cord.